r/ask Reddit. What's the stupidest thing someone has said to you with confidence? A distant cousin, who has long been a complete dumbass, once told me that whatever direction she is facing is north. It came up when I was on the phone giving someone directions and she was nearby. I said something like go north on X street, then take a left on Y, etc. She overheard me and said that I didn't make any sense because whatever direction you're facing is north. So north changes depending on which way you are facing. I said no. North is north. It's only the direction you're facing if you happen to be facing north, and she started arguing with me over it. She definitely was not just ducking with me because she is a dumbass that has a long history of saying really stupid shit. Your cousin is a compass, which is short for complete ass. That she could never use a sperm donor to have a kid because she wasn't 100% sure that the baby child would speak English. It's probably for the best that she won't use a sperm donor. It would be best for her to never parent at all, no matter the means of child acquisition. You should try to incorporate cinnamon and apple cider vinegar into your diet. Then you can get off the insulin and use more natural products to control your blood sugar. I'm a type 1 diabetic. Have you tried not being diabetic? I honestly haven't. It landed me in the IQ lol. You shouldn't wear a seatbelt because, in the event of a crash, you're better off being thrown out of the car than being trapped in it. As an EMT, it would certainly be less paperwork. Right? Wounds incompatible with life chart. Done. You're not Asian, you're Chinese. She's Asian, you don't know that. She could be Korean. The efforts to be safe is hilarious. I used to work in a lab where origami was a pretty big thing. So there were origami figurines all over the place. Some guy comes to visit and comments on the figures and says those are nice. What are they called? Macrame? I said they're origami. He responded, I'm pretty sure it's macrame. I'm usually right about this sort of thing. I'm usually right about this sort of thing. Edit. Didn't expect that to blow up. You are all the best. Open bracket. And I'm definitely right about this sort of thing. Well, obviously, you're not. It's almost like the same few characters keep appearing throughout this thread. I wish there was a window in between us so I didn't have to look at you. That is amazing. The Greeks didn't have metal. That's true. Metal music still is not present in Greece to this day. Anything deemed too metal by the government is adjusted before the population's consumption of the media to lower volume, light and harsh vocals, and edits out the word metal and then rebranded as hard rock. Even to this day their cars are made out of a sturdy balsa. How can it be 9 AM here, Toronto, and 6 AM in Vancouver, at the same time? A work colleague. Years ago, I tried to explain it but it didn't work. Edit. Wow. This resonates with a lot of people. I remember that she was a very sweet and kind-hearted lady and she really could not understand it. I think she lacked some basic knowledge, so the concept of time zones was too advanced for her. Also, thank you for the award, kind stranger. I work with long-haul truckers and I literally had to explain time zones to one of them. It blew my mind. Didn't he wonder why the time kept changing? The company I worked for 20 years ago had a new saleswoman fly out from Chicago to LA. She's got a noon meeting in one of the hotel conference rooms with her client. But when she shows up it isn't ready. She beaches at the hotel, who agrees to get it ready in a hurry, and there she sits, in an empty conference room, for an hour, before calling the client to ask if they were running late. No, they said, they'll be there in 45 minutes, just like they scheduled. She gets the sale, but when she arrives back she has nothing but venom about the trip. First the hotel screws up, then the client shows up late and pretends nothing's wrong. And to make things worse my plane departed 2 hours late, etc. That's when one of her co-workers asks about her watch. Did she remember to reset it once she landed in LA? What do you mean, reset it? It's a Rolex. Doesn't it do that automatically? Space was created by Disney to further the hoax of space Earth being round. He was dead serious, and he quoted his own brain after much research as his source. I wish I was kidding. Wow, what an idiot. Everyone knows Disney created the hoax of space in order to sell more copies of Star Wars. Flat Earther quotes would dominate here. My front desk gym rep. I gave them a 1-week free gym membership, the 27th of March to March 35th. And it would have been March 34th anyhow. Exactly, so many levels of dumb. They even hand wrote a 1-week free membership card out with the same dates. I didn't see the card until the member came in the next day and showed it to me to check in for the day. They didn't even say anything. They laid their jacket right beside a stove. Don't worry, it's waterproof. Edit. Thank you all so much for the awards and amazing comments. Did they really confuse water and fire? Yeah, I just stared at them for a minute until what they said sunk in. Oh, I don't believe in electrons. I've never seen one. Have you? No, I didn't think so. I guess they're trying to be more positive. If you ever fall out of a plane without a parachute, you should grab onto the ground when you hit it so that you don't bounce, because that is the bounce that kills you, not the first impact. He swore that it was true and that a skydiving instructor had told him. I mean, I believe the skydiving instructor told him that, but the skydiving instructor probably thought he was smart enough to get the joke. Skydiving instructors have a litany of stupid shit they say to lighten the mood. You're about to jump out of a perfectly good airplane on purpose. We had a block of instruction prior to my jump and my instructor was telling us about the reserve chute. If your primary fails to open, you have the rest of your life to deploy your reserve. I had a roommate in college who visited Spain and thought that it was hilarious that people there commented on his accent. For him, I don't have an accent. I'm an American. Tom, you're one of the reasons that people think that we're all stupid. In a similar vein, a friend of mine in college had a boyfriend from the UK. You would not believe how many people asked him how he was able to speak English so well. It was horrifying. I was having a conversation with someone from the UK and one of my friends complimented his accent. He said he liked our accents as well, and she just goes, "We don't have an accent, haha." The look of utter confusion on this dude's face killed me. Had a buddy from Sheffield. He'd come visit us hillbillies, TN, every so often. Some girls we were hanging out with had just met him. One made a comment about his accent. She found it sexy. He said thanks. She asked if their accents were bad. He replied, "You sound like Duck in cartoons." When I was moving to Hawaii, I had a friend ask if they had cars roads there. She believed they got around using tiny boats. Imagine saying you are from Egypt. Duck houses. All my homies live in pyramids. 1/4 is greater than 1/2. A&W actually tried doing a 1/3 pounder to duel with McDonald's 1/4 pounder and failed because most Americans thought a 1/3 was less than 1/4. Edit. Said Burger King tried it when it was actually A&W. Also, a 1/3 pounder doesn't sound as cool as a 1/4 pounder. Canada is part of the United States. My Canadian friend told me once. Legit, I think some people confuse North America with United States of America. Not saying it isn't outrageous, but at least I get how it happens. One of my Canadian friends was arguing that we should call Mexicans Americans because they lived in North America. So I started calling him an American and he didn't like it very much. Was talking with a few friends and one of them got on the topic of going to a gynecologist appointment and said, well, while he's down there, he might as well do a prostate exam. Chaos ensued when she refused to believe that women didn't have a prostate. In my first semester nursing class at a community college, a middle-aged guy behind me confidently corrected the 3 female instructors who were demonstrating how to insert a catheter. If you insert the catheter tube into the vagina instead of the urethra, you're supposed to leave it in place until you can correctly insert a new, sterile cath into the urethra. It kinda acts like a bookmark, so you don't make the same mistake twice. Anyways, this guy confidently informs the, again, female instructors that there's only 2 holes down there, not 3. One for poop, one for sex p menstruation. And how could any idiot possibly mistake the anus for the urethra? Couldn't wrap his brain around the fact that there are 3 holes. Because if each hole had its own purpose, there would need to be 4. Sex, pee, menstruation, poop. Needless to say, he did not move on to the next semester. ETA, the moral of this story is not that you are dumb if you didn't know women have 3 holes, but now you do. It's that no one should be dumb enough to argue with nursing instructors who hold advanced degrees about the anatomy they possess and work with on a regular basis. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.